Tonight, I got a few things I want to cover. I'm not sure if April is going to mention anything, but we'd really like some interaction with you folks. Some people are really doing a good job with this college and enrolling people, and some people aren't. And we want to get everybody on the same page, getting great results and stuff. So we want to have an open discussion, about what's working and what's not. Most of the time, it's just a matter of some folks are having real conversations with people and others aren't, is what's going on in most cases. But, just in case there's something obvious out there that we're missing, let's talk about it tonight. But we're halfway through the month. We got the second half of the month coming, and it's just been 1 month since the College Inn was introduced. Actually, a month ago today, a lot of us was sitting out in Utah, I think right to the day, actually. I don't remember if this was Friday or Saturday out there, but it was like right to the day. And it was fun, but man, a month can go quick. I'm like, it feels like we were there freaking yesterday and it's already a month ago. It's amazing how fast time can go. But the two things, actually there's three things I want to talk about tonight. And one is, are you asking for the business? It's such an important part of this business. And, there's an art to it. And some people are really good at it and others aren't and really have to learn. But you always need to ask for the business, but you need to do it in a way that you're not putting your hand in their pocket, reaching for their credit card. You got to do it in a way that's not offensive. You got to do it in a way that makes you not seem like a cheap used car salesperson or something. But you have to ask for the deal, for the business. And for me, the easiest way, and everyone's got a style with it, everybody's got a different way of doing it. What I'm most comfortable with is saying something along the lines with either, can we get you started, or can we get that ordered now? Or where do you see yourself starting? Do you want to get started as a customer? Do you want to be able to earn money right away? Where do you see yourself starting? And, there comes a time when that is the time. Now, after a while, if you are having, and I'm not talking about just, spamming people. Okay. This is not about spamming people. This is about, if you're having good dialogue back and forth with people, whether it's on social media or you're texting from your phone or you're talking on the phone, whatever it is, as long as there's good back and forth going on, okay, that's a conversation. Okay. If it's you spamming them or you just sending some sort of solicitation, that's not a conversation. Those are two totally different things. So the first thing I want to remind us about is we need to be getting into real conversations with people so they get an opportunity to possibly like us, because people generally buy from who they like. And most of the time they won't if they don't. That's just kind of how it works. It's the nature of the beast. So I mean, we know all of you personally, and there's not a reason in the world that anybody that I could think of shouldn't or wouldn't buy from you. So the only thing, if they're not, is either you're not doing the do, okay? You're not doing your part, okay? Or you're trying to shortcut it with spammy stuff instead of real conversations, because there's nothing about any of you that's not likable. Okay, so nobody would have a reason to not buy from you unless you're shortchanging them in the conversation. In other words, not really having one. So what I'd like you to do, and again, this can go on your entire career, but since we're 1 month in on the collagen, look back since June 17th or 18th, whether it's in your instant messenger, whether it's in your text thread, whether it's your phone calls, whether it's your post and your stories, and look and see how many different people you are engaged with in the form of a conversation. Okay, not how many you spammed, not how many you sent a link for something, not how many you posted, how many are you engaged with going back and forth? I got a funny one for you. I get, Dr. Deckel and I have a very special, unique way of working with each other. We know each other so well that there's really no information required when he sends me a name and phone number. The way that he sends me somebody to talk to on his behalf is a text message. And it's the prospect, me and him, okay? Depending on the one, if it's a woman or not, sometimes April's on it, but most of the time it's me, Moshe, and whoever the prospect is. So he sends me one of those messages a couple days ago. And he's got 2 offices. He got one up in New York and he's got the one in Hilton Head. And what's really funny is he's up in New York and I noticed the area code. So I know it's Long Island. And one of the things that when I first introduced myself, it's like, hi, I'm Bob. I'm Dr. Deckel's partner in the wellness business. He obviously felt it would be a good idea that you and I talk. And then I say, tell me a little bit about yourself. Where you're from? And that's always like the first thing I say. Tell me a little bit about yourself, where you're from, because he doesn't tell me about them. Okay. He just says, hi, Mary, this is Bob. Bob, this is Mary. And I told Mary that, LifeVantage would be something good to look at or something. And that's it. I don't know if he told Mary anything about me or not. Okay. But it's not in the thread. Okay. So I really need to get to know. Well, here's what's funny. So she says, well, I'm from this town called East Patchogue. And I'm like, well, that's funny. That's where April grew up. Okay. I grew up in just Patchogue, not East Patchogue. Okay. They neighbor each other, but we find out we know all the same people. We're a couple of years apart and graduating. And the more we talked, and she even knew the owners of the first house that April and I lived in. And some of you may have heard me say this. We lived in a house that was haunted for our first 3 or 4 years of marriage. And it was Casper, though. It was Casper the friendly ghost. He didn't mind that we were there. But she knew them and knew of the house. And I'm like, this is a really, really, really small world. But here's what I'm getting to. I never said much about business. All we did was develop a liking to each other. Okay. She was the cousin of someone April and I graduated with. Okay. We just knew a lot of the same people and did a lot of the same stuff and hung at a lot of the same places. And before we even had a word of business, I knew I liked her and I knew she liked me. Okay. So we were going to be able to go further. So what I'm trying to share with you, this was ice cold text introduction, okay? But we got to know each other a little bit, and then it was easier talking about business. And I get in, I said, have you ever done one of these network marketing things? And she says, yeah, but it was like 30 years ago. And honestly, I joined it, but I never did it. And I said, okay, well, that's a pretty common story in this industry. And it ends up, the reason why we got introduced is she was going to Dr. Deckel for holistic medical reasons. So I already knew that's how they met. So I said, okay, tell me a little about your beliefs in anti-aging, alternative medicine, holistic medicine. And, and then it just went on and on and on. So the reason I'm sharing that with you as an example, and it's continuing, okay? Like we text back and forth today, And I decided it was worth sending her samples. Okay. And she's supposed to get them today. But the point is, are you conversing with people where the dialogue's going back and forth 6, 8, 10, 15, 20 times? Because when it goes back and forth, that's a touch. And April, what's the number of touches now they're saying?
A lot of touches. I want you to think of the collagen, and it took me a little while to figure, I think, myself out. To me, all of a sudden, collagen is like a relaunch for all of us. It's like the first day. So I kind of even have pulled off a little bit of my, social as much to people that I don't really know. And I'm back to lists. I have a list by me, and every time I think of somebody because I saw a message go by or I saw them on Facebook, and the message I'm sending, and I'll show you what's pretty typical. I just said, like this one I sent to Sil Silverbush, which Bobby knows, and I said, "Hey Sue, how are you? I never see you any." I said anyone lately. I meant any more lately. I do have a question for you. Do you use a collagen product? And she got back and said, "Hey, yeah, it's been a busy summer. We're headed to the Bahamas tomorrow. Hope you're doing well. Yes, I use a collagen creamer in my coffee every morning. And I also use a topical cold droplet. I don't know what that says. Let's touch base next week when I get home." So this is a relaunch for everyone. It's just a matter of reaching out and just saying, "Hey, do you use a collagen product?"
Now,
Yes,
just so
you
you
do.
know who
Right.
this person, this is someone April's been playing tennis with for probably 16 years, was a neighbor for 10 years in where we lived. And everybody's, kind of moved to different places since. So this lady is well aware of what we do.
Yeah,
Okay,
she's used the product,
Right.
and for some reason, this is a case where, like I did the stories on Facebook, it seems most of my friends are more vain than they are concerned about their health. That became very obvious to me. They cared what they looked on the inside, on the outside, could care less what was going on the inside, which was interesting. I didn't really realize that. I thought,
You didn't see that coming.
I did not see that coming. I
Yeah.
thought, which explains a lot to me. Like when I talk about certain things, they just, it's like a deer in headlights. They're not interested. So, but again, it just gets back to have a little pad by you. When we originally launched, and you see this, if you need to go back to the website, and you can relaunch either in the app or on the website, but take a piece of paper, start writing names down. It takes you 2 seconds. You know what? And with a text, I don't even have to be afraid. It's not like I had to get her on the tennis court and say, what product are you using these days? Or it's a text. There's no fear factor. No fear. If they don't want to answer, they won't answer. Who cares? We don't really care. But that's not what's happened. Time and time again, they got back and said, "Yeah, I'm using this." And then, Dana's on here too. She's texted me a few times. You'll have conversations. They're probably using a crappy collagen.
Right.
That's when the thing that Rachel made up with the comparison of all the products comes in. Vital Protein, which is a powder, comes up again and again and again. It's great marketing, but it's a crap product. But you can't share that with people until you say, "Hey, are you using a collagen product?" She could have got back and not even know what collagen is, as some of them do, and say, "No, what is it?" Great, that's a whole nother conversation. We just have to go back through, and not in a spammy way, but go back and talk to people and just ask them what they're using.
You got to treat it as if not only are you relaunching, okay, but you got to treat it like today's the first day in the industry and you have never spoken to anybody yet, and go back to that list. Okay, mentally you've erased 3/4 of the people that you know. Okay, you haven't sent them a message or a note or anything. And for some of you that have known us for 25 years or whatever, you got to treat it as if this is the first time you've ever done network marketing and you just found out about this collagen, and have that mental approach towards people. Okay, go ahead, April.
So I can guarantee you, the people that said no to you, and many of these people that I'm approaching now said no about the collagen. But Bobby's talking about the opportunity. Two of the ladies, one it just signed up today, and the other one was the 12th. She hasn't even gotten a product. We were just talking. But originally talking to her through social, just about collagen, started the same way. Turns out I ran downstairs to tell Bobby, she's a respiratory therapist dealing with a lot of COVID and stuff. And so, before we even got into that, she said, can I sell this stuff? She hasn't even used the product, and she's just selling herself on me again and again, because she's just excited about the results she's seeing with the collagen. Then she sees me talking about the business. Now we're talking about the benefits of Protandim. It's just, that's how it happens. It's not just, you just don't send a question over to somebody and that's it. You have to have, God bless you, Noel. You have to have some conversation with people. So just have some conversation. Lynn, you're making me laugh. So just have to have some conversation with people back. If you get to a point that you don't know what to say, and again, it's a text. You don't ever have to get back to people right away. Maybe it's you're making dinner, or maybe you're doing something different, but just text Bobby and I and say, hey, what would you say? Just get another thought.
Take a screenshot of the back and forth and send it over and say, here's what's happened. What would you say? Or what would you do next? That's all you got to do.
Because a lot of times it's just the way that we ask questions, but we have to keep, and we went over this last week, and not to be, like a broken record, but we have to ask questions. And sometimes we need to ask the same question twice to get to the right answer. It's like when we used to say you had to talk to people, you had to ask a lot of questions and get them talking. Because if I just say to you, hey, how are you doing? You're going to say, great. But if I keep talking to you, how are the kids? How's work going? Take any vacations? The more I get you talking, ultimately 10 minutes later, whatever you say to me, you know what, this really sucks, or I'm tired of this, or I don't like that, then the real problem comes up. But nobody walks up to you, and that probably not the type of person you want to be friends with anyway, but most people, because it's not socially, polite to dump on a person. But if you ask enough questions, they'll tell you what you need to know. And then you can go from there.
See, the reason we're, let's say harping on this is because, like, I know Dana's got like 10 this month, but I know there's other people here that haven't gotten their first one this month. We were at, from what I heard, every LVA virtual, I heard they were all great. Every Activate meeting, I heard it was a heck of a weekend, okay, for LifeVantage. And, we were here in Orlando, and we met, now granted, this person was a doctor and they have a captive audience, but, had 26 collagen people already this month. But there was a girl that's generally at the meetings in Orlando, and I know she was number one for last week when Skylar announced it, but this lady named Jill has 96 collagen customers in the first 4 weeks. Now, I don't know what Jill does, okay? And I honestly don't know her personally. I've only seen her at meetings and stuff. We've been on maybe 1 or 2 power hours over the course of our career, but I don't know her. And so I'm just saying there's just people that are going absolutely haywire, and there's some that aren't. And the reason we're bringing it up is we're hoping we can trigger something that gets everybody going, okay? That maybe there's something you haven't thought about. Now, another thing, and again, ladies, forgive me on this, okay? But I just want to bring this up. I was on a Vision Summit call last week with, and for those of you that don't know, the next Vision Summit's not to November. We're going to be using all the Activate meetings leading up to Global and not compete with a Vision Summit meeting in the meantime. But anyway, we were on a call, and Dondi and Marcy Nettles were talking. And long story short, Dondi obviously is very intelligent with the products. He's originally a chiropractor before network marketing, but highly educated on the product side. And he has spent the last month looking for angles and marketing and ideas of marketing collagen to men. Okay. And I'm not going to go into details with this, but I'm just saying one of the big topics was ED. Okay. And if you don't know what that is, then you don't know what it is. Okay. But anyway, he's doing a meeting tonight, and it will be recorded also. But the topic of the meeting is, for women, it's a no-brainer. Every woman in the world, I think, has heard of collagen. They maybe not have all used it. Guys may or may not have heard it, and most have never used it and would never dream of using it because they wouldn't even know why to use it, because they think it's a woman's product. Okay, that's just how it is out there. So anyway, Dondi's doing a training on it tonight, and if you're interested in listening to his thoughts on marketing to the male market, I can send you the link. I'm planning on getting the link to the replay, for tomorrow or the next day, whenever he posted on his YouTube channel. But just an FYI, just letting you know that that's something that we have a lot of respect for them. We've grown very fond of them, working Vision Summit with them, and they're very, very smart people. And it would just be fabulous to be able to get the male population as excited about collagen as the female population is about collagen. But the facial stuff is not going to push the guys' buttons. Okay, it's going to be other benefits. And I'll leave it at that. So April?
Yours, you're using it twice.
So I am using
Probably
it
3
twice.
times.
And maybe I'll use it 3 times. I don't know.
But I did
What's
know.
dangerous with me is I like the way it tastes. I can fill up a glass with ice cubes and fill it up with collagen and drink it. I like the way it tastes.
Yeah.
So it's like,
We do need to share. He really wrote this well. I don't have a lot of guy friends, particularly off of social, but I do have a few that are, and I have sent it to them. I said, this has been the first men's only call for the products. You may, and these are people that I know fairly well. But he wrote, like advantageous and beneficial in the bathroom, the weight room, the locker room, the boardroom, and the bedroom.
that's Dondi marketing.
That's Dondi.
Okay, that's his marketing.
So what guy wouldn't say like, hey, I'm
Dondi
tuning
being
in,
politically correct.
nobody's
Okay.
gonna know. So, I mean, I have a very short list of guys that I could send that to. It's very short. But if you do have a few of your favorites that you're kind of friends with, go ahead and send it to them and let them know that this is the first men's only, call, especially if you've been dripping product or they're on the product. This is a no-brainer. Go ahead, Jaya.
One more thing, I have read a lot on collagen recently. The biggest benefit on blood vessels that we forget, people with heart disease, any varicose veins, my God, there is so much benefit for those things. I mean, that we cannot forget. So men can use them. In fact, one of my patients who has a problem and all kinds of things, I told him to start, he started it. So you can, I know these men, so I could talk to them and they could take it. But that is one of the biggest benefit. Second one is arthritis people. Remember, even if suppose somebody has had a knee joint replacement, they can still have that stiffness. That stiffness goes away when you take collagen. So these are subtle points which we can look. If you put collagen and blood vessels, you can find everything there. You can go and find it. So I think it's just not the skin, it's not just not the ED, it is for everything. Even for the eye, it's an important thing. So that's why we need to say
Well,
it is.
it's funny, Jay, all of those benefits are listed, but April, getting back to the survey you did, where people are so freaking vain, they don't even look at the rest of the benefits of the product. They just want to look better.
Yeah.
And, the other benefits are not going to sell the product. The looking better will sell it. And then they will get all the other benefits that go with it. Because if you're taking it, you're taking it and you're getting all the benefits, Anyway, if you need the link, let me know and I'll send it over. If you decide later in the week you'd like the replay to send out, I'll get that link too. So April, you got anything else, or we want to open it up or what?
Yeah, definitely open it up. Yeah.
So tell us what, what you got on your mind. And, like I said, it's a mishmash here. Some are doing real well with the enrollment, some aren't. So what's holding you up? How could we help? What do you got to do different? It's open. So go ahead, Lynn.
So you start the conversation, you ask them if they use a product, a collagen product, and they say yes or, well, say they say yes. What do you do after that to keep it?
Yeah, just great. What product do you use?
Yeah,
And then they'll tell you, and then I'll say, well, do you like it? Are you getting the results you want? And you just keep talking to them. Generally, once you ask them what product they're using and if they like the results, because there are a lot of people that have been taking collagen and haven't gotten any results. So then they're like, well, they know it's good for them. They know they should take it. They're hoping and praying they're getting results, but they probably didn't do a before and after picture. So, and they're probably not taking a good one. So they'll probably say, I don't really see any results. I know I should take it. And then I'll say, have you seen the stories? Or I put them in the group, or, I let them see some pictures of our before and after, my before and after. And you just keep having the conversation with them.
This
Okay.
is definitely a time you want to be loading up Lifespan Matters, man. If you've had any conversation about collagen, because I'm dumping all the before and afters in there. Okay, so if, and as those people are willing to share stories, we'll be adding testimonies to it. But right now, we're just filling it up with before and after pictures. So you want anyone that you're having a conversation with, part of that conversation should be, hey, there's a lot of before and after testimonies in this group. Would you mind if I add you? Okay, that's just another talking point that you got. Who else? If you're muted, if you're asking, I can't hear you. Anyone?
And Bob, I am adding all my customers already. Last month I had 110 people. I got $150 paid for that.
Collagen Cash. Yep.
Yeah, collagen cash. And this month again, people who are already my customers have started buying, but I'm just waiting. There are few who are the new beginners. They want to do the brand partner this week. They will try to do
Well,
it.
that's a good point. Anyone that's got any customers at all that aren't in Lifespan Matters,
First, immediately look at your pictures.
yeah. But
That's what I say.
that's a good point too. And we haven't said this in a while. If you have customers using product and they're not in Lifespan Matters, get them in there, because they may be using Nerf 1 or Nerf 2 or something else and see those collagen pictures. I mean, that's, you never know what's going to get their attention. You never know.
You can also go through the list of people you've put in there and re-tag them in something. Just say, hey, I don't know if you saw these pictures, or, just you tag their name. We all know how to tag, right? Start with a capital, their name will highlight, or the list will come up, make sure it highlights. Once it's highlighted, just right next to it, hey, thought you might like this, or wow, did you see these? Or, just that gets them back in the group so they keep getting dripped on more often than if they've started to fade over time. Because if they don't show interest, Facebook kind of phases them out. So every once in a while, you got to go back and re-tag them in something, let them know, hey, this is the group. Again, it's just another conversation. Got to keep having those conversations.
The conversation and like I said, not posting or spamming, but having real dialogue. If you're not getting the rest of what's happening, because the talk across the country in the company now is everybody, and not everybody, that's an exaggeration, but the people going on collagen are asking if they can sell this stuff before they get results. We never heard that before. Okay, that was never a question that came before. They said, I'm ordering the collagen, and if this stuff works, can I sell it? And, so if you're not getting to them to get on it, you're not hearing those additional conversations that are happening. I mean, April's having these conversations with people, and they're still waiting for it to arrive. And the conversation's already talking about business, and they haven't gotten their first batch yet. So that's why, and unfortunately, you can't shortcut the conversation part. I mean, that's the most important part of it. And no posting, no texting, no instant messenger, none of that is going to substitute real conversation with people. And, that's why we're harping on that a little bit.
And I think this is so much easier than Pro Tandem to explain it. That's why we're getting those questions. Can I sell this? Because I didn't do anything they couldn't do. Where before, when I got to start explaining oxidative stress, they're just like, maybe they want it, but they're like, this is complicated. I can't do this.
Well, and think about this. We have all heard the saying, a picture's worth 1,000 words. And we have before and after pictures now, and the before and the after are worth 2,000 words. See, that's the power. We've never had pictures before, okay, to do it. We've had sick people say, I don't feel sick no more, okay, but we have not had before and after pictures, which is, why everyone's going crazy. And that's why people are asking, can I sell it? That's why they're asking if they can sell it, because they can show pictures, and after a month, show their own pictures. They can see themselves showing pictures. They could never see themselves being a scientist talking about Nerf 2, but they could see themselves doing show and tell, okay, with the pictures. So we don't want you to miss out on it, okay? We're a month in, and like I said, some people already got 100 customers in a month.
Hey, Bob.
So we definitely want to work on, getting things tweaked early.
Hey, Bob.
Yeah.
Yes.
Hey, I want to share this. I had a coffee appointment with a good friend of mine this last week, and we decided to get together. And one of the things we talked about is he's been a Pro Tandem customer, Nerf 2, since 10 years, and very hard to get him on anything else. And in fact, I happened to accidentally bring up, because of what he was saying, the collagen for his wife. Because I don't believe in none of that. We set a dinner date. We went over to their house yesterday. And lo and behold, Cheryl has got him on a $400 order.
It's his customer.
On the collagen, on
The ultimate pack.
ultimate pack.
I'm telling you, the reason why the conversations are so important, the best door opener we've ever had is the collagen, and it opens the door for everything else. It's just a door opener, and I mean, think about it. When they're happy with some visual change from the collagen,
Yeah.
tell me when they bother to learn a little bit about Nerf 2 and oxidative stress, tell me that's not going to get them excited. It is going to get them excited because we were a 13-year-old company based on that before we ever had collagen. So the collagen is that, it's that door opener, man. It's like, if you're a poker player, that it's the ante. It gets everybody in the game. And then the big stuff happens after the game gets started. Okay. But it gets the game going. It's and like I said, if there's some things, and Dante's freaking funny, I can't wait to hear what he's got to say, but I know how guys talk, and most of you know how guys talk. And, I'll just say this, one of Dante's comments the other day, he said, there's a reason why it's a little blue pill and not a little pink pill. Okay, there's a reason why it's blue. And I just started cracking up. So, can you imagine those, some great pointers, and I mean, from a marketing standpoint, that can be marketed. And I love what he did with April. We listed all the rooms, boardroom, this room, that room, and the last one, and bedroom. It was subtle, but there's a reason why bedroom got said last. Okay, there's a reason for that. And like I said, it's, there's just a bright future, but all of it means getting involved in a conversation. Okay, meaningful conversation. And if you like online and you like social media, it takes about 20 touches. if you can get in front of people in person, sometimes you can do it in that first meeting, okay? But, you know, April, anyone else?
Uh, I have one problem. I have taken my pictures, but I'm not happy. I feel that they're not properly made. I have no idea how to take the selfie.
Don't worry about it. Just use everyone else's pictures, Jay. I mean, it's,
That's what I'm doing.
yeah, that's why I keep texting them out. I mean, it's just like, some people are never going to use their own pictures. It doesn't matter what happens. They're never going to do it. Okay, but
No, but that I have had a great benefit that I thought I can put it. I have had both knee joint replaced. So I go to work out, I do something called no step where I have to like bicycle. And I always used to have little bit of problem while bicycling. But now suddenly I noticed that I can go 40 minutes without having a problem. This just happened in the last 2-3 days. So I'm thinking whether it's the collagen. That's what I'm thinking. So it could be, maybe I'll put it as one of the testimonial because it has
well,
helped.
I can tell you this, about, I don't know, 3.5 years ago, I had stem cells in both my knees. And it worked great. I am a big fan of stem cells, folks. If you ever considering it, I'm a big fan of it, okay? But long story short, got rid of all the pain. And after a few years, I'd occasionally get a little stiffness, but there was never any more pain,
Yes, yeah.
okay? This past month, I have forgotten that I have knees. You see, you're not supposed to know they're there, okay? They're just supposed to function, and work. You're not supposed to be aware of them. This past month, I am not aware of them anymore. It's like whatever it did, it's good, okay? Because I don't even know they're there anymore. And the stem cells are going on 3.5-4 years, that was done. So there's definitely something towards what Jaya was saying with joint benefits. There's no question about it. There's big joint benefits, because the best thing that anything could ever happen to anyone's joints is that you don't know they're there, because you're not supposed to know they're there. They're just supposed to work, So April, you got any last? Because I want to give people a chance if they want to get on with Dondi. Dondi's on in about 20 minutes.
Nope.
He was there on Saturday in the virtual.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah,
They
that
did
was
the
a
virtual.
good treat. I-
Very good, very good.
And
Yes.
pay, look, if I get a chance, I'll post it tonight in the training group. But there are a ton of Activate cities where there's meetings going on. Okay, I mean a ton. And I just found out, for those of you, and the reason I mentioned, I just found this out. I know Jason Kakenzie is hosting an LVA in Atlanta next month. Okay, so and again, what they're doing is they're trying to get enough attendance so the company will add it to the regular, like right now, I guess there's 6 or 7 regular cities, and the other cities are they're auditioning to be permanent. Okay, and if they can prove that they're worthy, okay, they'll become permanent corporate sponsored LVAs. And I know that's going on in Northern California. Where were you guys? Were you in Sacramento, Lynn, or a different town? Where were you in Northern California?
Berkeley. Oak.
No,
We're
no,
in
no,
Rockland.
It was in
Rockland,
Rockland,
Where
of
is that, near Sacramento?
north,
North of it? Okay.
another half hour north.
Okay. So again, that, obviously that is on the radar for a regular meeting. I know that Holly and Brian have been working hard to get Cleveland to be a regular city. They do, meetings there. So I know I just saw yesterday that Atlanta is on there, but if you go on the blue calendar, and they had given us, when we were all in Utah, a list of cities for Activate meetings. Okay, there's a lot of cities there. Like I know the end of August, we're all going to go over to Tampa. There's one in Tampa. Okay, we're in Orlando, but we're going to go over to Tampa the end of August. So
That'd be close.
look and see where there is other meetings in case you have people there. And it sounds like there was some confusion this time, but it sounds like with the LVAs, they're going to dedicate the first hour to an opportunity meeting moving forward. Okay. There was a little confusion in Orlando on what to do with that, but I see there was a number of other cities where they did that. And it sounds like, so to give people a reason to have guests there, okay, they're going to start with, with an opportunity, and then it'll be 3 hours of training. So that seems to be what they have in mind moving forward.
That's what
Anybody else?
Skylar did.
Did Skylar? Okay.
Yeah, that's what he
Yeah,
did.
that seems to be, and I'm not sure it happened everywhere, but I think moving forward, it's going to happen everywhere. I think that's, that's the plan. Anyone else? Welcome home, Noel. I guess you were in Europe for what, 3 months? I think it was 3 weeks. I'm just teasing her, but
No, it was almost a month.
it was, okay.
Well, yeah, it was really fun.
Do you still speak English?
I know parlo italiano tutto il giorno.
Well, hopefully we get to see you somewhere in person sometime soon,
Yes, definitely.
so.
Thank
long
you for
overdue.
asking.
All right, if you want the link for Dondi, let me know. Otherwise, you know how to reach us. But let's focus on having some real conversations and, have a big last 2 weeks, of the month. So talk to you soon. Have a good one.